This is Dale Williams. He is now being sentenced after confessing to running his ex-girlfriend off the road, then fatally shooting her. She was a mother, and her 2 sons are in the courtroom. You see the 30-year-old Anthony D sliding over the table, and 23-year-old Jerome Stewart going around. And in this frame, Anthony has Williams by his leg.
Killed my mother, man. That was my mama. She took care of me, bro.
After Dale Williams' first sentencing was postponed, he was later sentenced to 23 years to life. And for the 2 sons, the judge sentenced them to serve 30 days in jail for assault, contempt of court, and obstructing an official business.
This moment with Michael Madison changes the entire emotional temperature of the courtroom. Victim impact statements are already some of the most painful moments in criminal proceedings because families are forced to relive unimaginable trauma directly in front of the person responsible. But when reports say Madison smiled back at the father of an 18-year-old victim, that instantly turned grief into fury. And watch how quickly the courtroom erupts after that exchange. From a legal standpoint, the judge and deputies are trained to prevent retaliation and maintain control. But emotionally, this is the exact type of reaction prosecutors often warn courts about beforehand. The pain here feels almost impossible to contain, and it raises another difficult question. Should convicted killers even be allowed to react during victim impact statements, or does that only deepen the suffering for families?
This is Michael Madison. He is now a convicted serial killer from East Cleveland, Ohio, known to have committed at least 3 murders, all of whom were women. During his sentencing hearing, Van Terry took the stand to deliver a victim impact statement to the man who tortured and murdered his 18-year-old daughter.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown who's touched our families, taken my child.
In this split second, Terry is staring right at Madison, and that's when reportedly Madison smiled back. Van Terry is released without charges, and in 2016 Madison was sentenced to death, and he is currently being held on death row. This is Jason Howard. He's currently in a courthouse for being involved in a murder, but 5 months earlier his ex-girlfriend and 3 children were found dead in their own home. Howard was the only person of interest, and during an interview he claimed he was innocent.
I mean, I was a protector and a provider for my family, but I wasn't there to protect them and die with them. And I wish I was. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather be dead right now.
But remember, he is in court for a completely different murder. And the quadruple homicide of his ex-girlfriend and children is still unsolved. But the ex-girlfriend's family believes he is the one responsible for their deaths. The brother of the dead ex-girlfriend charges into the courtroom. The cousin of the victim now jumps in. The brother and cousin were both charged with assault. For Jason Howard, he is serving a 44-year to life sentence.
This Larry Nassar sentencing became one of the most emotionally charged hearings in modern criminal history, and this moment explains why. The father's request for 5 minutes in the locker room wasn't just anger. It was the emotional breaking point of a parent listening to years of abuse inflicted on his daughters. Now legally, the judge had absolutely no choice here. Courts cannot allow threats, vigilante justice, or physical retaliation inside the legal process, no matter how understandable the emotion may be. But notice how the judge still gives him space to speak instead of instantly silencing him. That balance between compassion and courtroom control is incredibly difficult during cases involving crimes against children. And for many viewers, this became one of the defining moments of the entire Nassar sentencing because it captured exactly how powerless many families felt after years of systemic failure.
For the unrelated murder. He has not been charged for the killing of his ex-girlfriend and her children. Reportedly, no one has. To this day, it still remains unsolved. This is Larry Nassar. He is now an American convicted sex offender and former osteopathic physician. For 18 years, he was the team doctor of the United States Women's National Gymnastics team, giving him access to hundreds of girls and young women who he abused.
I really feel that my entire family has gone through hell and back these last few months because of what Larry Nassar did to both of my sisters and I years ago. I have known Larry Nassar for most of my life. He once was someone I had always trusted.
Judge, would a distraught father have a chance to say something?
Go ahead, sir.
You sound.
We in a courtroom. We don't use profanity, but if you have some words that you would like to say, I would like to give you the opportunity to say them.
I would ask you to, as part of this sentencing, to grant me 5 minutes in a locked room with this demon.
I have.
Would you do that?
That is not
Yes
how
or
our.
no?
No, sir, I can't.
Would you
do
give me
that.
1 minute?
You know that I can't do that. That's not how our legal system.
Well, I'm going to have to.
Legal
Well,
system.
I'm going to have to.
Stay down. Press Morgan. I'll stay down. Matt, get over here, Matthew. Hurry up.
I want that stuff.
Behind your back.
Give me 1 minute with that. What if this happened to you guys?
Not behave like that. No one can behave like this. I want to make sure it's crystal clear. I'm sure Judge Wood-
You haven't lived through it, lady.
You cannot behave like this.
Nassar was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison for various charges, to be served after a separate 60-year sentence. That means he'll serve at least 100 years in prison, effectively a life sentence. And for the father, he won't face any criminal charges. This is Clifford Thomas. He is the boyfriend of the mother's 3-year-old child, who died from multiple blunt force injuries. Her death was later ruled a homicide, and the mother and boyfriend are in court together. During the sentencing, the child's biological father, Dwayne Smith, was getting ready to give a victim impact statement to the man responsible for his daughter's death. Thomas was sentenced to 57 months to 15 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and 1 to 2 years for resistance.
The judge's decision not to hold Dwayne Smith in contempt is actually a significant detail here. Courts do have the authority to punish emotional outbursts or physical confrontations, but judges also consider the context, especially in cases involving the death of a child. Losing a 3-year-old daughter in such a horrific way creates unimaginable emotional pressure, and sometimes judges recognize that a grieving parent's reaction comes from trauma rather than criminal intent. Still, these courtroom explosions reveal something deeper. Victim impact hearings are often where emotion finally boils over after months or even years of bottled-up grief. This wasn't just anger. It was heartbreak colliding with the person blamed for destroying a family. And sadly, by this point in the video, we've now seen this same emotional pattern repeat again and again.
and obstructing a police officer. Gordon was sentenced to 7 to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter and 14 to 25 years for first-degree child abuse. And for Dwayne Smith, the judge declined to hold him in contempt of court. This is Tristan Lamoureux. He pleaded guilty to shooting and killing his wife. At the sentencing, the brother of the murdered victim comes up to give a victim impact statement. The brother is making straight eye contact at the man that murdered his sister. The brother was quickly removed from the courtroom, and according to reports, he was also not charged. And for Tristan Lamoureux, he was later sentenced to 15 years to life in prison.